a real
think,
physical sensation that I really
yeah,
couldn't put my finger on for probably a good few hours. And that might not sound like a long time given the things that we're talking about, but it really did baffle me and really physically flattened me until I kind of realized what it was. And when I did figure it out, it didn't necessarily go straight away, but it gave me some context and it allowed me a little bit of space to then gradually start to feel better later on that day.
think it's a really important point. We talk a lot about behaviors. So my child is triggered and
Mm,
therefore they did this, and it was
mm,
a really big behavior. So I ended up battling the behavior, keeping everyone safe,
mm,
risk assessing, whatever it is, rather than looking at that driving force behind it. But what you're talking about, it was actual physical symptoms. And this is also
mm,
really important. If your child suddenly has a really bad tummy aches are really highly connected with stress and
yeah.
um,
Like stress and gut health and that kind of stuff, isn't
triggers
there?
and all of those
Mm,
emotional memory
mm,
type things,
mhm,
because your gut
mhm,
is your second brain, isn't it? That's what they say. Um, so tummy aches can happen a lot when a child is actually feeling really, really scared.
mm, mm,
Headaches can happen a lot when a child feels really, really scared. I was reading something earlier today actually about how stress can become physical symptoms, and it could be, that twitchy eye I keep getting, Laura. It's not because I'm old, it's because I'm stressed. Um,
absolutely. Headaches, migraines, that
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Aches and pains, everything. Yeah, the body that I guess it's like the body keeps the score, isn't it? Bessel van der Kolk and yeah.
if we think of triggers as actually relived memories rather than
Mm,
triggers, then
mm,
what's going to happen with that relived memory? There's going to be fear, there's going to be stress, there's going to be overwhelm. So it may come out as suddenly feeling really, really cold, or
mhm,
having a headache, or not feeling hungry, overeating, stealing food from the cupboard. You know, there is no, when a child is triggered, this is what they're going to do. They could do anything depending on what their survival techniques are.
absolutely.
And this is where it
Absolutely.
comes down to, your child best. So if your child is
Mhm,
suddenly doing something that is out of the ordinary for their day-to-day behavior,
mm,
that's the time when you need to just try and stop and be a little bit self-reflective
yeah.
before you can start reflecting with them. What
Yeah,
do you
definitely.
reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. And I guess, for me, there's kind of three main bits I would be wanting to monitoring. The physical stuff that we were just talking about, the tummy aches, the headaches, maybe food, anything that kind of is affecting the body that you can actually see with your own eyes.
Mhm.
The other bits that I think that is really important for us to remember is we've also got the emotional stuff that's happening for the child. Do they are they a bit more reactive? Do they seem a bit more panicky, a bit more anxious? And is that manifesting physically? Are they suddenly biting their nails through anxiety? Are they,
Mm.
picking their skin, pulling their hair, chewing the cuffs on their sleeves, that kind of thing that shows there's an emotional reaction here. Are they suddenly very loud and chatty and in your face, or are they more withdrawn and
Uh-huh.
shut down? Are they really tearful over tiny little things like, they can't find their other shoe and it's like, World War III has just started. Things like that. And then obviously we've got the behavioral stuff, which I think is probably what most of our listeners are seeing. But I would really be urging people to think about the physical and emotional that may come either before or alongside the behavioral stuff, which is some of the things that we were just talking about before. Are they being aggressive? Are they loud? Are they angry? Are they, um, like we said, bedwetting,
Uh-huh.
changing their food habits, anything again that is a different behavior, or maybe more of an increased or more intense behavior to what might just be kind of bubbling along
Yeah.
beforehand.